Hey everyone, this is Lions Den with another news and commentary. Now, there have been so many incidents on cruise ships when it comes to fights. It was crazy, right? So, we all heard about the Carnival incident, about how Carnival Cruise is now making new rules, banning boots on the ground and everything, and banning hip hop and everything. But then it's not just about Carnivals, every ship. So incident happened 2 months ago. It says a concerned trend of violent altercations among cruise passengers across multiple cruise lines escalated on May 3rd when a passenger deleted following an onboard fight. Incident comes just a week after a Carnival Cruise Line put 24 people on its do not sell list for engaging in a massive brawl in a port of Galveston cruise terminal. Violent altercations involving passengers were also reported on Royal Caribbean and Virgin Voyager cruise ships in April. Now, we've been hearing that Carnival is had enough. All you see is black people fighting on cruise ships. So they had enough. They're banning hip hop. They're banning the clack of the fans and boots on the ground. But what about this story? It says the latest incident occurred aboard on an MSC cruise ship sailing a week cruise from Southampton, England to Bruges, Belgium, and lead to a murder investigation. Doug Parker shared more details on the cruise ship murder investigation and other cruise news, including cruise ship crackdown on child exploitation on May 6th edition on Cruise News Today. This is not just about black people fighting. It's about other people fighting too. White people fighting on cruise ships. They're not going to show you the picture of the victim or the suspect in this story. We already know what color they are. And nobody says nothing. Now, we're going to play this clip from Cruise News Today, and then I'm going to finish the rest of my commentary.
Cruise News Today with Doug Parker.
Good morning. Here's your cruise news for Tuesday, May 6th. British police have launched an investigation after a 60-year-old man passed away following an altercation aboard the MSC Virtuoso over the weekend. The incident reportedly happened shortly after departure from Southampton, where the ship had to return to dock 3 hours later. A 57-year-old man from southern England was arrested on suspicion of murder. In a statement, MSC said, "We are providing full support to those impacted, and thoughts are with the family and friends at this difficult time." The investigation is ongoing, and local authorities thanked MSC and its crew for their cooperation.
So you see, ladies and gentlemen, this is not just about Carnival. And continue says that British police has launched an investigation after a 60-year-old man passed away following an altercation aboard the MSC Virtuosa over the weekend. The incident reported happened shortly after departing. And they said in the statement, MSC said we'll provide full support to those impacted and thoughts are with the family and friends at this difficult time. The investigation is ongoing. Local authorities thank MSC and its crew for their cooperation. Now, I saw a lot of YouTubers, black YouTubers, who basically saying when they're calling ghetto, Carnival, when black people who were caught fights, you see videos on catching fights with each other, brawls with each other, and basically, now Carnival has set a new set of rules, banning hip hop, banning boots on the ground with the fans clacking, right? Banning all the portable speakers, right? And that's only Carnival. Okay, fine. But at the same time, let's be fair on this. You got MSC, you got Royal Caribbean, Virgin Voyages, did the exact same thing when it comes to fights and drunkenness. And most of those situations are with white people. Silence, crickets. My question is, what will MSC would do? What will Royal Caribbean would do? Or Virgin Voyages? Will they follow the same thing that Carnival was doing? But we already know who's targeting, who's not. And a lot of black YouTubers are like, well, Carnival has every right because this is a business, and they can kick out all the ratchetness and everything else. Okay, but here's a problem with that. That does not solve a problem of who's fighting, who isn't fighting. I've seen videos on YouTube seeing white people fighting. I seen one person kick a door, who was drunk by the way, kicking someone else's door, crew cabin. Just literally kicked this person's cabin in. I see another incident when another person fight. I mean, it happens on every cruise lines. And my question is, what are they going to do about it? I know Carnival is basically changing the new rules, get rid of all the people, black people especially, and that's what I'm saying. There is kind of racism with that because they're not even targeting other people in their cruise ships, but yet they're focusing on Carnival and what black people is doing. And it's working because professional black people say, well, I'm glad they're getting these people out of there. But then another situation happened on other cruise lines as well, with other groups. I'm just going to say with other people, and nobody says nothing. Nobody does nothing. Oh, but the person's been charged with, deleting another person. They said 60-year-old man has, we already know what color he is because it happened in the UK. Happened in London. Well, parts of the UK, we already know what color they are. But yet they're not going to do nothing. They're not going to have restrictions like they did with Carnival. They will ease on booze, remove all the music they're listening to. And see, this is the ongoing problem. You can get rid of all the ratchetness, that's fine. That's Carnival. Do you. Do what's right by that company. But it's not going to eliminate the problem. And see, now you have other incidents that's not the same color as mine, doing the exact same thing, but you're not going to get rid of their privileges or get rid of their music or get rid of what they like to do. Of course not, you're not going to do that because you're going to lose money too by doing all of this. Carnival is just one of the cruise line that does this. But they take with all the professional, with the baby boomers and with some of the Gen Xers say, I'm glad they're doing this. They get rid of all the ghetto-ness and people bringing weed. I get that. I understand that. And they have every right to. But the main problem is that they're not getting rid of the issue of what caused the fights in the first place. And it's not just black people fighting. That's what I'm trying to get you guys to understand. There's white people fighting, Hispanics fighting each other on cruises too. But you only focus on black people with Carnival. And not talk about the entire issue, the entire problem. But I know, let's not make race into this. This isn't about race. Okay, what you going to do with the MSC incident? In the Virtuosa, what you going to do with that incident? What you going to do with the Royal Caribbean incident? What you going to do with the Virgin Voyages incident? There are non-black. Let's start there. If y'all want to clean up everything, you're tired of the fighting, you're tired of this ratchetness, get it. Fine. Do you? It's done. Y'all ban hip hop. Y'all ban boots on the ground. Y'all ban, fine. But what about incidents like the MSC incident that I just talked to you about? What about the Royal Caribbean, the Virgin Voyages? Look, I love cruise. I've been cruising. I've been hooked on cruising since my wife took me cruising for the first time. I love cruising ever since. Never stopped. Matter of fact, I'm getting ready to go on a cruise myself on the MSC World America on my birthday, on my 50th birthday. I'm going there. Celebrate my birthday on the MSC World America. But the facts are the facts, people. This is not just about black people fighting it around. Yes, it's pretty bad. This is an embarrassment for our people. I get that. But then there's other incidents in other cruise lines as well that people don't want to talk about it. And they should. If you have that energy, if you have the energy with Carnival, Would it come to, we fighting each other, drinking, drunkenness, having ratchetness? Let's have that same energy with MSC, with what happened in England, and other incidents. Let's have that same energy with that. Maybe we have that conversation. Maybe cruise lines will do something about this. Let me know what y'all think about this in the comments. I think that this is not just about Carnival. It's about all cruise lines in the same situation, and most of it is non-black. And nobody ain't saying nothing about that incident. None. But we always focus on all the black content creators. Oh, yeah, we need to get rid of all these black, all them ratchetness and all them other cruise lines. But then that doesn't solve the issue. Matter of fact, it's making things worse because bad enough Carnival is going to lose money with the VIP program that they have rules on. Now you're going to deal with this situation, but it's not going to eliminate the entire problem at all. Let me know what y'all think about this in the comments.